comes a time when we heed a certain call, when the world must come together as one.
Welcome to Step Ahead. This is Carlos Corzo, and I'm here with Desiree. Desiree runs our RevMax division here at Streamline, and she does not want to be on video. So she is just the voice that's going to be asking some questions. There's been a lot of buzz about master cancels, so I wanted to get something out quickly. I know that Desiree got some questions on it, so I think it's a good opportunity to talk with Desiree as if she were the client so that you can get some of your questions answered. Really quick, one of the things I want to make sure you guys are aware, if there's any part of Streamline that you really like or a part that really helps your business, please email me. It's carlos@streamlinevrs.com. I want to try to do these videos so that we're doing things that help everybody. So if you use a part of the system that you feel that is unique and that you use it to your advantage and it really helps you, especially during this time, any kind of communication tricks, anything that you have that you feel could help other property managers, let me know. We'll set up a quick meeting and we can do one of these videos together, and I will ask you questions. You can obviously ask me any questions, and who knows, maybe we can even make it better by trying to see what other features we can add to it. All right, so let's talk about this master cancel program. So this came about obviously based on what's been happening. It originally started with issues with Airbnb. This was a long time ago. We wanted to create a program that would help people with any kind of chargebacks or cancellations. And as we were doing this, it turned into, hey, people are having a problem now with the current situation, and they're losing their money to cancellations. So Rental Guardian worked with an underwriter, and they came up with a program that is going to help cover cancellations, so that should we ever get into a problem like this again, and maybe if we come out of this and there happens to be a resurgence of this, at least you're not going to be impacted in the same manner. And I thought it was a very good solution. So it's an option that you have. The idea is that it covers your reservations against cancellations, and the rate varies. I believe it starts at 5%. I think most people end up getting that. It has to do with the underwriter and you know, their math and their formulas, but most people, it starts at 5, and there's different ways to do it. The idea behind it is it covers any part of the reservation that you want. So you can cover room rent, you can cover taxes and fees, you can do everything. And you have to think of this as a policy that you would normally buy. So it's like a policy on your house. You're basically taking out a policy on your reservations. It's not like the regular CFAR or trip insurance. Those are things that are purchased by the guest to protect the guest. You're trying to protect yourself and the owner to make sure that you'll always have that money available when you make a reservation. So most of the time, I think that you would sell a damage waiver, and you would sell trip interruption or trip insurance. So those things are kind of protection against obviously damage, but then you also have the protection of airplanes and all these other expenses. That's why people buy the trip interruption. The master cancel, the purpose of it is just to cover the reservation for you, the property manager. I know people have asked, okay, well, what do I do with the fee? Can I increase my rates? Can I add it as a fee? Can I pass it on to the owner? So the answer is yes, it does get tricky. The only thing you cannot do is you cannot put in master cancel fee 5%. So, that's something that you don't want to do. You just should not have, flat out a master cancel 5% fee if you're going to choose to make this a fee. So I have our mythical friend here who is the voice of reason, Desiree. So Desiree, you want to say hello?
Hi, everybody.
Hi, it's just me. All right.
Well, and those who are listening.
And everybody out there, yes.
Perfect. And then does Streamline have a report that we can use to reconcile payments to Rental Guardian?
So the way that we're going to build this is we're going to add a checkbox to the taxes and fees area, and you can say covered by master cancel, and the room rent is going to be covered by default. So
Okay.
The way that the report is going to work is it's going to be a report. We're trying to build it so that it's an incremental report, so that when you run it and you say, okay, I've paid it, then the next time you come in, you will run it again and it will basically catch you up. That way, if you made any modifications between the last time that you ran it and now, it would pick those up and make the proper adjustments on the report. So this is how we're going to start it off. This will eventually become an API feed. So if we look here, basically the report is going to give you the reservation number, the total amount covered, the master cancel fee, and assuming, on this, I'm assuming it's 5%. This is the amount of the master cancel fee. And then this is the management commission at the time that the reservation was made. The reason for this is when they do the coverage, they don't want people, making modifications to management commission. If you do, then you would see an M. You'll see an M right here. And that M just tells them that you modified it. Depending on what fee you asked to cover, you have your room rent, and then any additional fees will show up in here.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to show you the breakdown of a reservation that is using master cancel. There's a lot of different ways to do this. So when you file for that cancellation fee, there is a 10% deductible. So if I come here, I look at this reservation. In this case, I'm just going to be covering my room rent. So my master cancel fee in this case would be $5. So then when you file to get your money back, you're going to get back $90. And then what we're going to do is that when you get back that $90, you are going to decide how you want to distribute that $90. So in this case right here, we put some money of the $90 in estate tax and city tax because in this case, since you're still kind of having a reservation in essence, then we're going to use the $90, and then you would build it up so that you're still paying taxes on this reservation. Does that make sense?
Yes. And now, do you have to distribute it? Or is it something that the PM can just keep?
You can keep. You don't have to distribute it. I mean, you don't have to distribute it to the owners. No, this is money that you're getting back because you've insured yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Okay.
I mean, if you have to be careful. If you pass this charge on to the owner for some reason, I don't think you want to keep it. But if you're covering this of your own 5%, then yeah, it's a decision. You make the decision on what to do. Just be careful with the taxes. So what we're talking about doing is probably putting in a master cancel calculator, because that way you can put the amount that you got, and then when you do the room revenue amount, it can calculate taxes if you want. You probably should pay taxes because you're going to have to record it as revenue. However, since this money is going back to is being paid to operating account, you may just report it as company income.
Right. And my thought is that if, as a PM, if I rebook that room, those are my efforts on behalf of the owner, right? So the owner would get paid for those dates regardless, and then I can keep and kind of fund my own insurance policy.
Yeah, so
if you will.
Let me confuse you a little bit here, okay? So look at this reservation. In this case, I'm going to cover rent, cleaning, state, city tax, and administrative fee, okay? I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
So what I've done is my calculation, which is 5%, I'm going to be paying $8, which is my master cancel fee. And then I'm going to go in and this reservation canceled. So I filed a claim, and I'm going to get back $144. Mm-hmm. Now, this reservation rebooks for this unit for those dates. If that total is more than half of the original covered total. If your reservation was $100 and you rebooked it for 40, you're going to get the money on the 40, right? But there's $60 that you're not going to get. So
Oh, I see.
and this is as long as you keep rebooking it. If you rebook
Mm-hmm.
this, it would apply again. But the original was 100, so there's $60 that now with your rebooking, you're missing out on management fees. So that's what they will give you back.
Oh, I see. Okay, so they're making up the difference.
They're making up the difference for the management commission. That's why
Mm-hmm.
the management commission up top is important to them.
So I would get paid, well, I'm going to get the 144. I get it, but I was supposed to get 160. So I'm going to get the
Exactly.
144 plus the 8. So I was supposed to get
So you're
my
getting,
management fee on the 100, and they're paying the difference between what I did get and what would have happened.
yeah, so it's at the end of the day,
Okay.
basically at the end of the day, in this case, you covered your original master cancel fee.
Mm-hmm. So it was a wash. Okay.
Yeah, I mean it's a good deal. I mean most people are going to rebook for more than 50% anyway, but at least you know that as a management company, you're going to be made whole on your money.
Right. And this covers cancellations in between, what is it, 60 days from
So
arrival?
yeah,
Or,
so this works. So what you want to do is it covers cancellations between 60 days and 2 days prior to arrival. So
okay.
the things you want to take advantage of is don't collect more than 25% before 60 days. That's the minimum that they want people to collect. You can collect more if you want, but if you're using master cancel, there's no need to because it's covered. And then within that 25%, you already have your 5% that will cover the master cancel program. So what you want to make sure you do is the 2 days prior to arrival gives you the ability to have the flexible terms. Those are going to be more likely to be booked, and they make money on bookings. So
Mm-hmm. Okay. That makes sense. All right. And then let's see, is there a minimum time between when a guest books and cancels? Does it matter? Like, for example, let's say a guest booked last night at midnight or 11 o'clock, and then the next morning by 8 o'clock they cancel.
well, if you have not paid your master cancel fee, then it wouldn't apply. Once you've paid the master cancel fee, you're essentially covered.
Okay. So when does the master cancel fee get paid?
At 7:59 a.m. It's up to you when you pay it. With the API, I think that it's going to have to make the assumption that you have paid it. With the report, basically, when you run the report, you could run it daily and send a check-in daily. I don't know how they want to do the money. The money collection could be ACH. They maybe have a credit card on file. I don't know that.
Okay.
But you can run it every day if you want. You can run it weekly, whatever.
Got it. So then anybody that books and cancels within that time period essentially would
Yeah, I think
just wash out.
exactly. If you've already paid the master cancel fee, whether it's ACH or whether it is, eventually again it'll be an API driven transaction. So really it'll be the moment they make the reservation.
So how long after the original checkout date will we receive payment?
Within 5 days of the original checkout date.
Okay. Okay, perfect. And okay, and then is there a top limit annual or lifetime maximum amount that would get paid out?
No, they don't have one.
Okay. Okay, so even if they have a credit today for something, and we haven't paid anything for them today, but then when let's say they move their dates to September for coming in for Labor Day, those ones would get covered.
So what would happen is when you move that reservation over to September, then it'll end up coming into this master cancel report. You're covered for check-in dates after August 1st. So if you modify a reservation and you move it into that time frame, then it's going to go into the report here. It'll be marked as a modification, but it'll go into the report and you're going to be paying master cancel on it, and then it's covered at that time.
Gotcha.
It
Okay.
doesn't cover anything prior, obviously, but the fact that you're moving it into the time frame that you're covered, that means that you're paid for it and it's covered.
Got it. Okay. And then do we have the option to like cover certain reservations and not cover other reservations?
No, it's everything.
So it's all or nothing? Okay.
This is their main documentation here, which kind of goes over just what the program does, how it works, how the claims process works. So we will have this in the knowledge base so that you can have access to this. They do have a file, which is a Q&A file. Okay, so this is different questions from people like, what is master cancel? And that's something we'll add that on there as well. It talks about how it benefits property managers. It talks about how it works.
So so it gets paid out of my operating account, right? But
you're going to pay it. You should pay it from your operating account.
Right. Okay. And that's what I was checking because it's operational expense.
Yeah. See, remember the thing is that if you do it out of trust, you're covering your company, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're essentially the company that bought this insurance is really your property management company. So as a property management company, you should be paying your insurance premium out of your operating account. You don't pay, coverage for your office from your trust account.
Makes sense. Okay.
That way you create that separation.
Mm-hmm.
Right? A lot of these questions, they're very generic questions, and we'll have these available. I wanted to cover some of the crazier questions that Desiree brought up, but you'll have all these questions here. I saw nuclear explosion. Let's see what that is. Claims resulting from, okay, are there any exclusions? Claims resulting from one of the two items, nuclear radiation or radioactive contamination, and then war and terrorism.
So would like COVID fall under that, under invisible terrorism?
I just double checked, and COVID is not considered terrorism. So this is going to be your exclusions.
Okay.
So one of the questions that has come up is whether or not you can have a non-refundable fee and keep that fee yourself. So the answer to that is the way that the program is being implemented right now, it's no. The whole point of the program is to have flexible terms so that people can book and you don't have to worry about anything because it's going to be covered. In terms of cancellation, additional cancellation policies, the program has a max trip cost coverage of $25,000. So if you're lucky enough to be making reservations that are individually more than $25,000, then that's where you would use the CFAR product, which is the cancel for any reason. That covers anything. This master cancel is limited to $25,000. So those reservations would be excluded, so they wouldn't show up in the report. Very important that you know that. So you can sell CFAR to cover that for those larger reservations. Damage waivers, you can, if you sell that today, I'd still keep selling it. Trip insurance, if you sell that today, I would still keep selling it because that covers more, that's more for the traveler than it is for you. We did see an actual spike for the first time yesterday in bookings. Very, very exciting, very promising for everybody. Desiree, anything you want to say here before we wrap things up?
No, I think this was great and it was very informative. So, I'm glad that you were able to put this together and I hope it's very useful to all of our clients.
Perfect. All right. Well, Thank you very much. Be safe.
Thanks, everybody.
Stay safe. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
There comes a time when we heed a certain call, when the world must come together as one.
Do you want to be on this thing, or what do you want to do?
No.
No? Okay. So you're just going to be a voice in the.
Yes, I'll just be a voice. I'll just be a listening person who has questions.
That means I'll have to make fun of this listening person who is not listening.
That's fine. I didn't know we were recording. I know, but I didn't realize that's what this was. I thought we were just having a Q&A session, a rap session.
You're going to go into bloopers then. Well, I guess this one's going to have to be small because Desiree does not want to come on.
So basically, you're just talking, and then I'm going to ask questions at the end.
I'm going to say this mysterious person, Desiree, does not want to come on camera. So she wasn't prepared. Welcome, everybody. This is Carlos. Today, I'm going to turn off the ringer.
So, yeah, one of the questions was, how long after the original checkout date will the PM receive payment?
Ooh. Dang it. I got a text. Let me text Brady. Good question. What other questions do you have?
Okay. Is there a top limit, annual, or a lifetime maximum amount that would get paid out?
Where are you in the prairie over there? The birds?
There's no. You hear birds? I don't have birds on my side.
Oh, they're here then. I'm up in Payson, so.
Oh, okay.
They sound like they're over there, but I guess they're outside.
Yeah.
All right. 0 for 2. All right. We'll be right back with those. It's hard to stare at the little green dot.
Yes.